watches over the Puget Sound. Berenice's hair drapes the horizon to the air. Where is my lucky star tonight? The seventh sister of the Pleiades walks in beauty like the night. Oh, that is best, dark and now lost to me. Only trust in the northern star. That's the only point that's fixed. I once believed in love. Even love cannot bridge this rift. Where is my lucky star tonight? The seventh sister of the Pleiades, who walks in a beauty like the night. All that is best, dark and bright. Now
Night Dreams Talk Radio Network brings you the World Paranormal News with James Creechbaum. Now, the latest news.
I'm James Creechbaum with the Paranormal and World Changes News. Snow falls for the first time in the Sahara Desert since 1979. Yes, that is correct. It's a rare event, but sometimes it does happen. It must be every 40 years or so. But the conditions were just right, and there was a brief dusting across certain areas of the Sahara Desert. First time since 1979. Also, one of the biggest meteor showers of the year will be visible in Florida in December. Now, the peak days will be, let's see, the meteor shower, the peak days will be December, Friday the 13th through December the 14th. But, however, there will be, even past that peak, the meteors will be bright enough that you should be able to see them even a few days after that. So people in Florida, 13th and 14th will be peak times to see the meteor shower that's going to be coming this December. Unidentified flying aerial phenomena slowly moving over a mountain in Phoenix, Arizona. Now this was on December 1st. A slow-moving rectangular object has been filmed while flying over the top of a mountain in Phoenix on December 1st. Some of the people say it's one of those banners from a plane. However, if you look at the video, there is no plane, and you can close up on the video. It looks like kind of like a triangular craft of some sort, but it's slowly moving across the mountain in Phoenix, and that was on the 1st. Very intriguing video. Also, a large UFO fireball filmed in North Carolina, and this was recently too. And in the video of this, you can actually see this fireball, and in the background, a little bit higher, is a looks like a jet, 747 or something like that, way above it. But this fireball is coming across. Don't know if it's a meteorite. Nobody knows yet what that was, but that was recently also. Now, NASA reveals that the Parker Solar probe has many pictures that will be sending back from it's been probing and videoing the sun and its horizon. So whatever those pictures are, they're sending them back, so you might want to check those out when you get a chance. They're coming in as we speak. Also, the world's first genuine fly and drive car has been unveiled. It's the Pioneer Personal Air Landing Vehicle, or PAL-5. Looks like something right out of the back to the future. But anyway, it's up to a 27-gallon tank. It flies up to 310 miles at an altitude of 11,000 feet, and you can travel 750 miles on the ground. However, you need a pretty big pocket to buy. It's roughly $700,000 for this vehicle, but it would be convenient. Getting a traffic jam is pretty much like a helicopter. Up and away you go. Anyway, next news break, top of the hour.
Night Dreams Talk Radio, After Dark, wants to give a big shout out to all the truckers that listen to our show. Coming to you from some far point station, like a cosmic tumbleweed, both north and south of the Pleiades. Here's your host, Gary Anderson.
And here I am. I just had to wait for that little bit of thunder to go past the, compound here tonight. I'll tell you what, that flying car plane, a lot of people don't realize that you don't even need a pilot license to fly one of those because they're experimental, like an ultralight type of thing. So you don't have to be a pilot. So if you got $700 and some $1,000, you don't want to be stuck in the rush hour traffic. Just get into it. It's all computerized. You just, put your, where you're going into it and you go. And you know what? I think that's a bargain. I think, they're going to sell at least 15 or 20 of them the first year.
Yeah, it says it only takes 10 minutes to get it all unfolded and hooked up to fly. But that would be something, being a traffic jam, all of a sudden, there goes the car straight up and gone.
Well, yeah, but the problem is when it's in the car mode, it can't do that. So you're going to have to be in a traffic jam. You're going to have to figure out how to pull off the road for the traffic jam. Then you're going to have to set it up there. Excuse me, I've been drinking tea. You got to set it up, in the airplane mode to, take off.
Yeah, and that's amazing.
You're not going to do that when it's bumper-to-bumper traffic.
No, but it's amazing you don't have to have a pilot's license. Could you imagine some of the people that, they may be a little intoxicated, who knows? But they're going to be rich intoxicated because it's a pretty penny to buy this thing, too.
Oh, yeah, but don't forget, a lot of that stuff is all computerized. Like those cars you can buy now that, self-drive. So you just, you just tell it, where you want to go, put it in, and there you go. And you don't have to worry about it. The thing that scares me about it, okay, is, originally when they were talking about these type of vehicles, they were going to have some safety device on it. Like if the motor stopped, you just don't drop down like a rock, that a parachute's supposed to come out and bring you down safely. I don't know. I'm going to have to do research on this craft and see if it does that. I don't know. It just kind of scares me. Like the cars I had years and years and years ago, like about the time the wagon wheel was invented, I bought myself this car. It was made, I think, in Italy or France. I can't even think of the name. It was like a little box, small, convertible, the two-seater. But what had nice on it, it had a propeller on the back of it. So we would, me and my friend, we would sit there and we would take the car out into the Puget Sound. That's the salt water. And we would, people like see us go on the ramp for the boat. And we'd go out with the car, and they didn't realize the car was designed to go in the water too and run.
Yeah, you had one of them amphibious vehicles. There's been a few of them around here. People just drive along, then boom, they're in the lake.
Yeah, well, this was when I was like a teenager, late one. The only problem I had with it is you couldn't get parts for it. Number one, it did leak a little water, or a lot, so you couldn't be in the water very long. Otherwise, you would go down. The other issue, it had a cracked engine block, and we had to use that, like that stuff with the engine block sealer, And it didn't last very long, and I ended up selling it to somebody. I don't know what they did with it. But I tell you, it was fun. We'd go in the lake, right? And we were single at the time. All these babes would be around there, and they'd just see us cruising in a car. And, they'd be standing up, and sometimes they would forget. Well, I'm not going to say that over there. But they'd be sunbathing, and they would stand up because they'd be in shock.
Oh, my goodness. This must have been before the first wife, I take.
In between.
Okay. Goodness. Oh, that would be a sight. You're lucky if it was leaking like that. That's a good question. You get out there in the middle of this lake or something. What if it's stalled and you're leaking real bad? I guess you're going to go down with the ship.
No, you just get out and swim. But it was leaking enough if you probably stayed in that. God, that's many moons ago. I know that we could only be out maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes, and we'd have to come back in because our feet to our almost knees were, immersed with water. The problem is the gasket. You couldn't get any parts for the car. It was made in the 50s. I mean, it was interesting, though.
Yeah, I think that was a problem with a couple of people in my area that had them. They're old. They were from the 60s or 50s or whatever.
50s.
And they're foreign on top of that. So, the parts were kind of rare and in between.
And small. You felt like you were in a shoebox.
Yeah, they're small cars. I've seen a few of them around here.
Yeah, did you ever see the 56 Nash or whatever it was, how small they were, or 60 Nash? They were real small cars. Remember Superman, the original Superman series?
No, but I know what you're talking about.
Oh, come on. They show Superman every weekend on cable. You don't watch Superman?
George Reeves?
Yes.
That one?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha.
Sometimes he would get into it, or Lois Lane would get into that little, it looked like her little Nash she would get into. But it was smaller than that. That's what they were. But, can you imagine having a car plane? I would really want to make sure it has some safe. For $750,000, it better have a parachute. I can tell you that.
Yeah, not only that, here's the thing. We're just in the first stages of this. Who knows what problems they may have? There could be several of these be flying along and just drop from the sky, and they got to hit something. There's a lot of houses down below. That's all I'm saying. Maybe in somebody's living room someday. Yeah,
come crashing through the roof. But I tell you, I don't know. They've been experimenting with those for years, and production. It was supposed to go in production a couple years ago, but they went bankrupt. So I will see how many of these they produce. But I tell you, I'm still kind of leery on something like that. They do have the other ones where they look kind of like a three-wheel car, and you can sit there and stop and then unfold the wings, and then you can just take off like a plane. Right. And, the other safety thing with these new cars, they're 27-gallon tanks. Now think about that. That's bigger than most tanks in most cars. So if something goes wrong and you're, say, just 1,000 feet in the air, not to mention 11,000 feet, and you've got half a tank, full tank, and you're coming down, that's like a little gas bomb when it hits. I assure you. Yeah, well, what can I say? But again, if you have $750,000, that might be a nice toy. Yeah. That or buy a personal submarine, too. That might go at it both ways. No, I'd rather have the submarine, I think, because I don't know, it just seems... But them scary, too. I've seen submarines, like you're saying, and they start to leak. It's kind of nervous when you see water coming in and you're, a couple hundred feet under the sea. Well, when I first took over, when I got out of radio for a spell and took over being a general manager for a couple professional camera stores. The former district manager, he resigned. He wanted to go on the road on his Harley, and he was just tired of working. He was in the Navy.